by move around on the remote. We're moving around here on the UI. So I think right off the bat, like one of kind of the defining elements of Kaleidoscape is this wall right here, right? It's what you see. It's what you saw at every CATIA demo booth. It's what you see in every advertisement, magazine, article, promo, marketing material. Like the simplicity, I think, of the Kaleidoscape movie wall with that yellow box and the blue little flyout is kind of like their staple branding. No noises, no beeps and boops and bloops when you move around. And one of the things about this that always drives the family nuts is this is one of the smoothest scrolling UIs I think ever. Everybody gets motion sick if running this thing at 60 FPS, scrolling it around. There's two modes for this. You can have what I have here, kind of just an alphabetical setting, but there is also the let's change the system settings here, kind of the signature Kaleidoscape option. Where is it at? Yeah, here we go. System.
Oh, the dreaded shuffle to bring similar.
Ooh. We got to show it off.
It always looks great in demos and stuff. I know it's a big selling point because it looks so cool when they all move around.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's go. If we go to Moana, I think I have a couple other Pixar titles here. We wait a split second, and there you go, the shuffle. So it saw Moana and it served us up some other Disney items. Here, let's go. Let's pick another one. Let's see if we go to Star Wars. We'll hold on a second. Yeah, we got most of the Star Wars films. So that's the Kaleidoscape whiz-bangery there. I don't use this really at all. Do you use this, Chris?
No, again, I remember when Kaleidoscape was introduced to the market, I actually went to one of the very first demos of it. And that was, kind of their claim to fame was their shuffling, thing. Everybody's like, oh my God, that's so cool. I can stop and it'll show me other movies like in that genre. It'll show me other movies, maybe with that actor or things like that. But the problem is that works pretty good if you have, a fairly small library. And like, in this case, you're only showing your downloaded library. So it might be small enough that it is manageable. But if you have a lot of movies on there and a fairly large, let's say you had your 88 terabyte Wish and you had your entire library on there, is the moment that shuffles trying to find anything else, you have no frame of reference. So you're now just going to be randomly going around trying to find it. So I use the alphabetical, which is what you have it in now.
Right.
It still provides, again, if you have a large library like I have, it still can be a little tedious to get through. But it at least makes it where, there's a logic to it with the way they're done alphabetically.
Yeah. The shuffle is neat to show off. When I have like non-enthusiast friends, we actually just did a Christmas party a couple weeks ago. And I had my team, all my engineers and their spouses and a couple other folks from the office came over, about 20 of us all together. We crammed in here and ran some demos. I ran them all on this, and everybody was really interested. Like, oh, that looks so nice. And, show off the shuffle feature. Everything looks pretty cool, but day-to-day use, it's not the easiest thing to do. I think it's also worth pointing out, and some of the things that folks we comment on quite a bit, giving feedback for, is like some options and whatever in this UI. It's kind of like an infinite scroll, right? Which has kind of a peacefulness to it, I think, the way, but go ahead.
Yeah. So it's for people that aren't familiar with it. As you see scrolls left to right, you're now moving across your collection alphabetically from left to right. From down to up, you're jumping. So you can see, there you jumped from D to H, now to M. So you can quickly get to a letter where you're like, okay, I want, a movie that's a U. He can go down to the T's there and then scroll over to the side to get to U. Or he could just infinitely keep going to the left and he'll go through his entire library until it wraps back. But the top and the bottom are just jumping points. He'll eventually get to any of that. So where most UIs like this, where you see from other services, they're pretty commonplace now. They're usually locking the screen that it wraps from left to right and then starts back into the next line. And you're just going from A down instead of, jumping from one set to another, from like F there to K right below it. So instead, it would be like Godzilla and Kong on the right, but then the next one where John Wick 2 would be what would be logically after Godzilla and Kong. And I've made requests to Kaleidoscope. It'd be nice to see where, you know, they give you the option of maybe, you know, just like they do with the shorting, the shuffle, give you an option of portraying this any way you want. Say, okay, leave it like this, or make it where it's locked horizontally, so you're only going vertical. There's other little things like right now with First Man, you have there, they bring that text box up to the left that covers 3 movies to the left of it. I'd love to see where that was optional, where, you know, instead of giving me a synopsis there, I can just click on First Man and then you'd see that same synopsis plus everything else. So you can show them that if you want to just select that. Because it essentially becomes a slightly redundant, but it makes it where you're not seeing those movies.